Contract or no contract, whether you like him or not, Tua Tagovailoa is the Dolphins quarterback, at least for this coming season. Some people think one of the best in the league. Some people think he's okay. Recently, Hall of Famer and Super Bowl champion Kurt Warner, he has his own podcast, and he was talking about Tua Tagovailoa and giving him a lot of praise, saying he has great anticipation. And you know what? If he had the choice between anticipation or athleticism, he would take anticipation. Recently, Kurt Warner joined Kyle Krabs and kind of explained what he meant about the whole being able to anticipate.
We've got a number of, quarterbacks that are tremendous athletically, and they may not have the anticipation piece. So they may miss out on that part of the play, but they make up for it at times because they have the ability to extend plays on the back end. I believe anticipation allows you to extend plays on the front end. It allows you to be able to do things that other guys can't do. And so that's where I see the value of anticipation, where a lot of people, see value in extending plays and extending plays. Anticipation does that because it allows you to make plays. It allows you to make throws that other guys aren't able to make, and that windows that close up on other guys, you're able to make them. So you're extending that play similarly to a player on the back end. But I believe there's two aspects of anticipation. And the first one is timing, the ability to throw to a spot, the ability to have that nuance with your wide receiver to understand when he's going to break, when he's going to come out of his break. Can I let this ball go early before the defense is able to react and get there? So that's the first part is the timing. And I know a lot of people think, well, everybody doesn't have that same timing. Everybody can't see it 3 steps ahead of when they have to throw it. And so the other part with anticipation is allows you to throw the ball different ways. If I'm a second later, even though I'm trying to throw with timing, I got to drive the throw. I've got to throw it through a guy to hit a window. If I can anticipate and see that 2 steps ahead of another quarterback, now I can lay the ball. I can lay it over the top of a linebacker. I can layer it into different spots, which again, allow me to be more successful on different kinds of throws because I can throw it different ways and I can throw it earlier or later depending on what I see.
Hall of Famer Kurt Warner right there. He recently said he thinks Tua has some of the best anticipation in the league and explained what he meant by that anticipation to Kyle Krabs. I couldn't agree more, Vlad. And then you ask me really quick, in this day and age, would I take that quarterback that can extend the end of the play or a guy that has the anticipation? And I'll tell you, maybe I'm biased. Kurt Warner, one of those guys about anticipation, not so much athleticism. Maybe I'm biased because of the whole Drew Brees thing, but I want a quarterback that can anticipate more than can just extend the end of the play with his athleticism. Because I've seen what it can do, especially for guys. And I've said this, Tua's ceiling is Drew Brees, which is a very high ceiling. Nonetheless, every once in a while you get that unicorn, and Aaron Rodgers is a great example where he can anticipate, but he can also extend at the end. But you can't always be that unicorn.
Patty
Patty
can anticipate and he can move.
Patrick Mahomes?
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes can anticipate plays.
Yeah, he anticipates and he can move. Like, I understand.
Right. Okay. Yeah, there's the unicorns. I'm sorry about that.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, I think I'd rather the guy that can move.
Really?
Yeah. Because you can anticipate doesn't necessarily mean your receiver's anticipating at the same time.
Yeah, but they're going to run their routes and you can get it there. You heard Kurt Warner say, have it at a spot at the right time, the right place. Or the second part of it is kind of being able to layer it and put it through different places.
I
and
mean,
make it right.
Yeah, but I mean, you're talking about a guy who couldn't move, so he needed to anticipate. So that's good. Tua, I think, can actually move. It's just that his body's weird.
So that brings up the question: do you think he could be a unicorn? Where we know that
I don't know if you have to be a unicorn, Dan. Like, you don't have to. I mean, some guys are just blessed like that. But there's guys. Put it this way, Brady wasn't the greatest. He wasn't a mobile quarterback, but he knew how to move. How about know how to maneuver around the pocket?
Well, that's what he's kind of saying about anticipatory.
Right. No, but you can anticipate, but you can also move around the pocket to give your guys time. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't necessarily have to extend the play by running outside the pocket like a Russell Wilson or Lamar or anything, or those quarterbacks. You can actually extend the play just moving around the pocket, just boom, boom, boom. I think because of the injuries we would like him when we see that he's being pressured. We want him to get out of the pocket immediately. But there's certain throws that he just like you said, just move around the pocket. We all know. We always say once he taps the ball more than once, we all know he's
cooked.
He's cooked. But the great quarterbacks are able to tap the ball once and still be able to look for the open receiver, go through their progressions, because that anticipatory, that means you're not really going through the progressions.
Right. That means you're thrown to a spot
You're
at a
throwing
place
to a
and you know where
spot.
it's going to be.
Sometimes you got to go through the progressions, bro.
Right. And he was also talking about progressions, is that it doesn't happen overnight. You don't come in from college and all of a sudden it didn't happen with him. Obviously, it took Kurt Warner forever. He played in the Arena League for a while, and it didn't happen with Drew Brees overnight. I saw it when Drew Brees first got with the Saints. He was a vastly different player from when he first started with San Diego, played with the Saints, to his championship years, when he just always seemed like he knew what was coming. He always took that. And that's what I think Tua needs to learn, is that you don't have to take off for 5-10 yards. Sometimes a step and a half buys you enough time to make the perfect throw. And maybe Tua's getting to that spot, but it's going to take time. I mean, he's still a young quarterback in this league. But if I had the choice between, and I know this sounds weird, Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP, he's a great player, and I absolutely love Lamar Jackson. But if I had a choice between an athletic type like Lamar Jackson or an anticipatory quarterback like a Tom Brady or something like that, of course, that's once again the greatest of all time, but like a Drew Brees, I want the anticipatory for a lot of reasons. Number one, their body doesn't give out as quickly as someone that's going to be taking the hits.
Are we really sure about that?
Yes. What happened to Cam Newton?
Yeah, but Cam never had 3 concussions that almost put him
right.
Okay, so yeah, you can anticipate. Stay there and anticipating, and have a big Cincinnati Bengal come knock your head off.
You can get hit, and you're going to get hit. But if you're a more physical running quarterback that gets out of the pocket and will take some hits here and there,
you can learn. Well, I mean, people need to learn how to slide. And 6'5", you're 6'5", you're gonna think you can, if you're Cam Newton size, you're gonna think you can outrun or go over the defender. But if you're Tua size, you got to be smart. It's good. Listen, nobody's taking anything away from Tua. He's a good quarterback. All right, top 10, top 12, he's up there. Question is he the quarterback that can lead your team to significant wins in the postseason, to a Super Bowl run or a Super Bowl title? That's the question. And if he does, you're happy.
I think Kurt Warner did a good job right there in saying he's one of the best at anticipating, but he also is going to grow and be a better anticipatory quarterback, which makes him a better quarterback overall. And it's just going to come with a little bit of time and more experience. And I think, Tua, although he is good at anticipating, there is room for improvement because, yes, like you said, Vlad, sometimes he blindly just threw to spots. And that is good anticipation, but sometimes it kind of seemed like it was more of a system thing rather than him anticipating things. So maybe that's one of the progressions Tua can make. We know he's lost the weight, so he's going to be a little more mobile, but I don't think it's important that he's so mobile that he can just take off and run. I think the mobility is the part where he takes an extra step or two inside the pocket, can feel the pressure and get rid of the ball before he gets hit, and gives his receivers a little more time to run their routes. I like it. I like what Kurt Warner had to say right there. It makes me feel very positive on Tua Tagovailoa that someone like Kurt Warner, who obviously knows how to play quarterback and obviously knows what he's talking about, especially when it comes to that type of play that Tua is making, that he's high on Tua. That's a great thing. Once again, Lamar Jackson, 2-time MVP. Love him. Not taking anything away from him. Would love him here in Miami at one point, but we got who we got, and I think the anticipatory thing is good. And I also like the fact that Tua could also advance and be a better anticipatory quarterback because, like I said, I've seen it in the past. Kurt Warner, and same thing with Aaron Rodgers. It takes a while, like everybody. You got to be in the game for a while, but if you can have like one of those unicorns like Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson for a while was kind of like that, where they can anticipate and they can be mobile. Oh man, Patrick Mahomes. Oh man,